Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to the demo of SAP MDG Online Training. So our today's agenda is we will see what is a MDG and what are the benefits of MDG and how MDG applications looks like in the system. And after that, we will have a walkthrough of our course curriculum. What are the topics we are going to cover and how depth we are going to cover. And also we will see our learning platform, Google Classroom. What is a Google Classroom and how we use that Google Classroom platform for our training and how you can access your course content, how you will get the notifications whenever I update any new material. So everything we are going to discuss in today's demo session. So after that, I will have a Q&A session with you. So now let's start our introduction part of SAP MDG. So first of all, what is this SAP MDG and why MDG is very hot in the market and why we have so many opportunities of MDG? Okay, all we are going to discuss now. Anyone from non-SAP background?
Yeah,
Okay, Surendran, right? First, we need to understand what is a master data and how we can manage the master data and what are the challenges that we have with the master data in SAP. So if you guys, if anyone is there already from SAP background, so it might be a little boring for you, but just please stay with me. First, we will understand what is the master data and the importance of master data. So for that, I'll take an example, e-commerce platform example. Let's take this mobile. Okay, it may be Amazon or whatever it might be. So let's say Amazon, they are selling so many products online. So out of that, I am taking one such category, mobile phones. And again, they are selling so many brands of mobile phones. And out of that, I am taking Apple and one of the Apple models, iPhone 12 Pro Max, blue color variant, 256 GB. I'm just having a rough figure. Let's say it is 1 lakh rupees. This is our example to illustrate the master data and its importance. So now, well, there are 1,000 customers who purchased this mobile phone, which is of worth 1 lakh INR. So what is the total gross they will be getting? Around 10 crores. So out of these 10 crores, so everything won't go to Amazon or seller. So some portion of this 10 crore will go to Amazon and some portion, the rest will go to the seller because seller is using the Amazon platform for selling their products. So they have to pay some kind of commission to the Amazon. So now let's take a scenario. Instead of 1 lakh INR, the data has been updated as 60,000 in the database. Okay, it is an error. Now, if you take the same transaction, this time how much it would be? 6 crores. Now again, whether it is an error or not, out of this 6 crores, again some portion will go to Amazon and the rest will go to the seller. But here, definitely seller must have been made some profit. But here, seller don't make any profit because there is a difference of 40K. So it's not a positive sign, it is a negative way. Price has been reduced, not intentionally, but an error in the data updation. So this time, the loss would be 4 crores. Who will be bearing this loss? Seller. Because the product is not directly by Amazon. Amazon is just kind of a mediator between the customer and seller. So maybe their share will be reduced because of this loss, but they don't get any complete loss. But the actual loss will be for seller. So this is because of the pricing error. So the data error. Now let's take another scenario. This time, the error was in the color. Okay. So instead of blue color, there is one more variant. I think gold is there. Gold. So now the customer searching for an iPhone 12 Pro Max in Amazon, maybe the customer likes the gold color. So here inside in the database, the data has been updated incorrectly as gold color, but physically it is of blue color. Now for customer, it is displayed as gold color and place an order, and the gold color mobile will be delivered to the customer. Customer opens up the box, okay, and found blue color, because physically in the database it is the actual color is blue color, but while displaying it is updated by mistakenly as gold color. So obviously customer will get blue color. Now customer don't like blue color, customer wants gold color. Now what customer can do? Customer can return that to Amazon. Amazon. Now what Amazon will do? Amazon will make a exchange. This time they send gold color. Now customer again opens the box and customer is happy because he got whatever he or she wants. Now here in this second transaction, sorry, third transaction, this is our first transaction, this is the second transaction, this is the third transaction. In this third transaction, is there a loss for Amazon or seller? Definitely not. Only the freight charges. That's it. So in the second scenario also we have the data error. In the third scenario also we have the data error. But the effect of this data error is different in both the cases, because here the data error was happened at the pricing level, and here the data error happened at the color. So the bottom line is, we can't always say if there is a data error, there is a loss to the organization or company. It matters where that actual error is also. So there are various possible criteria, even though the data presents for a particular product or anything. So all the data, of course, everything is important, but always there will be some criteria or some data which can highly impact the business. Just like this scenario. Here, the customer details are important, and the model is important, and the color is important, and the variant, memory size is important, price is important, everything is important. But which is highly impacting the revenue, the price. I'm not saying others are not important, others also important, but obviously there will be one highly impacting data part. That is, in this case, is the price. So here, that is the importance of this particular data. And in this particular transaction, we could see various types of data. The first and foremost thing is mobile information. Second one, how this mobile information is coming onto Amazon. Some seller is listing these mobile details on the Amazon platform. So seller info. So this guy lists their particular mobiles on Amazon platform, and then so they need to get the customers. Unless they get the customer, they can't grow. So these are the three major data that we could see in our previous example. Here, what kind of information we could see under this mobile info? At high level, at least, maybe the brand name, model, and memory, color, price, etc. And same for seller, seller name and seller address, seller contact details, etc. etc. We could see here. Same for customer, customer name, customer address, customer contact details, etc. And also we have another data. So when seller is listed their mobile on Amazon, customer makes a purchase, then we need to consider the data of that purchase also, that transaction. So what kind of data? Let's say one purchase order and sales order and invoice and the shipping and the delivery. Okay. And if there is any return or exchange, then that relevant forms also will be generated. Now, just at high level, we can think of this thing. Now, among all this data, what is the primary? The primary information is these three. So, without these three, can we at least imagine of the rest of this data? We can't imagine, because if there are no mobiles, if there are no seller, if there are no customer, then how the transactions can be made? No purchase order, no sales order, no invoice, no shipping, no delivery. So always when you take a particular transaction, there will be some core information which is primarily to be available. So this we call it as master data. And using that master data, we make some transactions, and out of that transaction, some other data will be generated, like purchasing, sales, invoice, etc. So that is called as transactional data. So here, master data is not dependent on transactional data. Transactional data is dependent on the master data. So when there is some issue with the master data, like the pricing error or whatever, then that affects the transactions. How it affects? We had seen already one example. So that is the importance of the master data. So when we have such kind of scenarios, we have to be very careful while maintaining the master data in our system. Okay, we have to validate properly. Then only we have to maintain that master data in our system. So this is just a brief about what is a master data. Any questions so far from anyone? Now let's move further. We have various types of data in SAP, not only the master data and transactional data. Now let's see what are the various types of data. One is basis data, organizational data, master data, transactional data. So before explaining this one, let's take a simple example. Let's say you have purchased a mobile. So as soon as you purchase the mobile, can you be able to directly use that? Definitely not. You have to configure that. So first you need to open that mobile and switch on, then configure with your email address and mobile number or whatever, etc., etc. Configure all the settings and install all the required apps. And again, in each of the apps you need to register. Okay, and then only you can be able to use your mobile for your day-to-day operations. So Again, in that mobile, there will be some operating system. It can be an Android or iOS or whatever it might be. So that operating system also must be there already installed. And going further, you might receive some OS updates and everything. You need to keep updating your mobile. Okay. And you need to keep updating your apps, everything. So this is at high level, the overall picture when you purchase a new mobile, when you can be able to use that. Similarly, let's say client has purchased a license for SAP software. Okay. Can be any version, take anything, any version, doesn't matter. Now, can they directly able to use SAP in their landscape? Definitely not. Okay. They have to build the infrastructure. The servers has to be installed. And once the server setup is done, then they have to install that SAP software. For that, again, they need to maintain the required memory and storage space and everything. Once that SAP software is installed, then again they have to do the basic configuration, the initial configuration. And once the initial configuration is done, then the users has to be created. Once the users and everyone is created and the proper authorizations are assigned, then the domain relevant configuration has to be done if they want to maintain the materials or business partners or whatever. Once that is done, then they can start creating the data. Can be a master data or transactional data. So this process is required whenever you would like to install and operate your SAP software. So in this entire process, this entire process is not being done by single person. There will be different teams who will be responsible for these activities. So different teams will be doing different activities, and based on their activities, SAP categorized the data into 4 sections. Okay, basis data, organizational data, master data, transactional data. So the basis data can be considered as the basic memory management and the users, clients, everything. All those data is considered as the basis. Only when basis setup is done, then we can be able to move further. If the basis can't do, basis don't completed their basic activities, setup and everything, system setup and everything, we can't do anything. So once that is done, then the organizational data has to be created. Okay, the core reference data, we call it as reference data also. Okay, let's say you want to create a particular material in the system. When you would like to create a material in the system, you have to fill in the mandatory details like material type, material group, etc., etc., etc. Then you can extend that material to a plant. Okay, let's say I want to extend this material to so and so plant, and this plant has to be further extended to some storage location. You take some supplier. Okay, I want to maintain some supplier information in the system. Now for that supplier information, I need to choose the supplier group, the BP grouping and supplier address, and I want to extend that supplier. I want to assign some roles. I want to extend that supplier to a particular company code, and that should be extended to a particular purchasing organization, and some partner functions has to be extended for. So likewise, we can create similar different types of master data. But for creating all this master data, let's take a supplier. I want to extend my supplier to some company code, maybe 1000 company code or IN00 company code. So, that company code must exist already in the system. Otherwise, I can't extend my supplier to non-existent company code. So bottom line is, before you try to create the supplier and extend to a particular company code, that company code must have already been configured in your system. Then only you can utilize them. So that data, whichever is mandatorily required to exist before creating master data, that particular configuration we consider as reference data. So let's take one simple example. You would like to send an email, okay, to so and so party. Now, if you would like to send an email through Gmail, first your Gmail account should exist. Without having the Gmail account itself, can you be able to send a Gmail to your friend or whoever so? Definitely not. So that means whenever you would like to perform some operation, there is some prerequisite that should meet. Then only you can be able to perform the required operation. Similarly, here also in MDG, in SAP, whenever you would like to create some master data, can be anything. There is some prerequisite. Like some data must have been already existed. That is called as a reference data. So before creating the master data or any other thing, first we need to do the reference data configuration. Then we can start creating the master data. We have various types of master data in SAP: material, customer, business partner, jail account, profit center, cost center, task list, service master, equipment, function location, MRO bomb, equipment bomb, function location bomb. So many types of data is there. Once the master data is ready, then the end user can be able to perform the required transactions. Can be ledger balances or purchase orders and sales orders, invoices. Okay, so whatever it might. So all the data is interrelated. So likewise, we can categorize our whole operations with the different types of data in SAP. So out of all these data categories, our current focus is on master data. It doesn't mean that the other data can be ignored. The other data is also important, but our primary focus is on master data. Any questions so far from anyone? Okay, I'm moving further. Now, with this master data, what kind of challenges we can foresee? This is at high level. So let's take some organization, maybe some client, ABC client. Client has their operations in various regions across the globe. They may be operating or they may be using different kind of ERP softwares for different operations, manufacturing or sales or procuring or whatever it might be. Now it is the business is spread across various regions in the globe. Now, when this kind of typical landscape exists for a client, so what kind of challenges we could foresee? So we would see this kind of issues with the data: duplicate data, incorrect data, incomplete data. So what is a duplicate data? Let's say some XYZ customer is there. So that customer might be uh, purchasing the products from this region and this region. Let's take a simple scenario. Purchasing something. Now, when they are purchasing some product from different regions, maybe this is a global customer, they have the rights and everything, licenses and everything. Then This customer information should exist here. This customer information should exist here. This customer information should exist here. Okay. Let's assume that there is no central database. Nothing. Now, when this customer has their information available in different regions, it doesn't necessary to have the consistent data. Here the customer details might be different, here might be different, here might be different, because we don't have any central data. No central database. Here the thing is, the same customer data exists in multiple locations, which is a duplicate. And if there is the duplication available, then the data might be incorrect also sometimes. Because here the customer might have been updated some details, not wantedly, but maybe due to some human error. Here the details might be not correct as of this. Here also same scenario might occur. So obviously it leads to the inconsistent data also. And of course, the customer might have been provided only the required information or the complete information. Let's say you are filling a form online. So there obviously in every form there will be some mandatory parameters. So you always focus on filling the mandatory data and ignore the rest. Then even though that data is important to the business, they are not considering as a mandatory information. So we can say it is a incomplete information. Okay. So similarly here also, whatever the mandatory information is required that might have been passed over through the business, then that might lead to the incompleteness. So due to these issues, the data is not reliable. So finally, end of the day or end of the quarter or end of the financial year, when they get all the reports and everything, then they see some inconsistency. How to overcome that one? So we need to maintain some central database, and we need to have some humans who can check manually these errors and everything. And we need to perform some data cleansing activities to check whether there is a consistency for all the customers' data across all the regions, etc., etc., etc. So obviously, if there is some issue, there will be some solution. Okay, but how that solution should be built, that is important. Okay, so these are few errors we could foresee out of the master data when there is a typical landscape. Now, with these kind of errors, who will be impacted? Obviously, the board members are the high-level people who are sitting on the top node of the organization. So they will get impacted. The total overall revenue will get impacted in case of any master data issues. Now, how to overcome that one? That's where the data governance come into the picture. Data governance. So what is this data governance? Let's understand the term governance first. What is a governance? So we all know about our governments, state government and the central government. So what they are doing? In simple terms, they are governing the people. Means how they govern the people, how they control the people, they impose the laws on the people. That can be various things for various kind of situations. Let's take traffic rules. If you violate the traffic rules, if you are not wearing the helmet on bike, or if you are wearing the seat belt in your car, or if you are going on triple riding, or if you are going on wrong route, Okay, or if you are crossing the signal, then they impose some fines. So with that, they are controlling the traffic rules. Similarly, the crimes. Of course, nothing can be 100% controllable in this entire universe. At least we need to try our best. That's it. They are also trying their best, but still there are some incidents where the traffic violations are there and many crimes are happening in every country today. Okay. Still there are cases. Nothing is 100% perfect. But we need to do at most control by applying the strict laws and everything. So that's how they are governing the people. Similarly, here also, when there are errors in the data, we need to control that data. How we can control? Same principle, here also we apply some rules on the data through which we can control our data. So that process is called as governance. I'm giving high level information, guys. We'll see in detail in the regular classes. So when you start applying the governance principle on the data, then it is called as data governance. And if you start applying that governance process on master data, then it is called as master data governance, okay, which is nothing but our MDG. So SAP has taken this governance concept and implemented a tool called MDG. It is SAP's proprietary tool. There are other data governance tools also in the market, not non-SAP tools, but we will see in the further session. But this data governance principle has been used to implement a tool and control the master data in SAP. That tool is called as SAP MDG. This tool is used to control the master data. I mean, to maintain the quality master data and consistent master data and reliable master data, to avoid the duplicates, to reduce the data errors. I'm saying only to reduce the data errors. Like I said, nothing is 100% perfect. Still, we could see some data errors, though we are using MDG. But we can be able to reduce the errors compared to non-MDG space. We can be able to control the impact because of the master data errors. Okay, so in our course, we are going to see in detail in our live sessions what is MDG and how we are going to use MDG to improve the master data quality and how it can benefit the customers and what kind of master data we can be able to control using MDG. Okay, and what are the responsibilities, roles and responsibilities of MDG consultants? So we can categorize MDG consultants into three: technical consultant, functional consultant, techno-functional consultant. Of course, architects will be there. Okay, so these are the three different roles you could find in the market. So we will see what are the roles and responsibilities of each consultant in MDG and what are the activities that we are going to perform. Everything we are going to discuss in detail in our regular session. So now with that, I had completed the introduction to SAP MDG. Now I am taking you to the system, how the MDG applications looks like. Let me log into the system. So there is a master transaction for MDG. Don't worry, I will be explaining these things in detail in our regular sessions. Now I am just showing you what are there. So these are the various activities that we are going to perform. data modeling, UI modeling, data quality and search, process modeling, data replication, value mapping, key mapping, data transfers, everything. And here you could see some specific settings for each master data. Material master, FICA, customer, supplier, business partner, finance, all those things. Okay. What are the various configuration? If we take, for example, the process modeling, there are various kind of things are there, workflows, change requests, business activities, etc. So we are going to discuss all these configuration activities and what, in which configuration, which role is important and who will be doing what. And we will see the custom applications and we will see the enhancement of the standard applications also. And the user interface for governing the master data using MDG. So there are two user interfaces. One is a non-Fiori and another is the Fiori. So this is the non-Fiori application. We call it as NWBC, NetWeaver Business Client. So there are various roles which will be assigned to each user in the real time. So here we will have all the master roles. Now, if you click on that one, you see here governance of various master data, material governance. What you can do various activities here. I'm not going in detail. And business partner, let's say you would like to govern the business partner data. For business partner also, you could see various. Here you see the analyticals, the pie charts and everything. Similarly, let's say you would like to govern the finance data. Okay, you could see the finance. And we do have some custom applications also. Let's say you have a custom application. This is our custom application created in our previous batches. Okay, you could see the custom governance also. Various kinds of operations you can. Similarly, we have the Fiori also. It might take a while to load. Now here in Fiori also, if you see, we have the various governance applications. This is a supplier governance. Okay, ERP vendor governance. And let's say business partner governance. Okay, various Fiori applications are there. We will see both NWBC and Fiori, everything, and material governance. Okay, likewise, these are the two user interfaces that we use to perform our master data operations using MDG tool. Any questions so far? So if there are no questions so far, then I will walk you through the course structure and everything. Okay, so I take it as no. Let's move on to our course content. Okay, so the regular classes starts from 23rd March. The classes will be on Monday to Friday. And the timings, morning 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. The same timing as of today. And the duration will be 2.5 to 3 months. You can consider max 3 months. The approximate number of hours, 70 hours. Maybe sometimes the classes might get extended a little when the topic is in mid or whatever it might be. So approximately max 70 hours. Now, this is about me. So I have total overall 14 plus years of experience in various areas. I worked on MDG, Web Developer, ABAP, FPM, ABAP, and everything. I started my career as an ABAPer, and then I moved on to Web Dev Pro area, and then to FPM, and then since last 7 years, I've been working on MDG as a technical architect. And currently, I am working for one of the product-based companies of MDG. Okay, so that's just a brief about me. And let's move on to the course curriculum. So I'm not going each and every item because it does you can't be able to understand at this point of time. I will give you a high level picture. So first we'll start the introduction part of MDG. Okay, whatever we have seen today, again we will be seeing in the regular classes because few people not attended and it's not in detail also. I explained the concepts at high level. So we start MDG introduction. What is MDG and what are the use cases and what are the challenges and what are the user interfaces and some business processes we will see. What are the business operations that we could perform using MDG and what is the architecture of MDG and how various components can be integrated within MDG and how we can deploy MDG into a customer space. What are the various options to deploy MDG into the customer space? And what is the primary storage of MDG? How the data will be stored while performing the operations and after performing the operations? And also we will see what is the governance process. We were talking about governance process. So what is that one? And what are the business processes and what are the standard solutions that we have currently in the market for MDG? What are the various master data solutions? And then we see the baseline configuration. So like I said earlier, if you would like to use any product, you have to first do the minimum configuration required. So when the customer would like to install and implement MDG in their landscape, so what kind of configuration is needed? So that configuration we are going to discuss here. If you have a fresh system, what are the configuration that you should do? Since we are in the training environment, we may not be able to get the fresh system. We always get the already installed system, but still I will show you few of these activities, how it can be done, and few of the activities I can show you practically also. But end of this chapter, you should be able to configure MDG in a fresh system. And here various teams involvement also needed, basis, security, MDG, okay, all those. Now the data modeling. So how we can model our data?
Now you are going to tell MDG on S4 HANA only, no sir?
Yes, for HANA 1909.
1909. Okay.
So data modeling. When like I said, we have various types of master data. So whenever you have some master data, we need to prepare the data structure. Like for example, if you take core ERP or S4HANA, we have Mara, Marcy, Mardi, all these tables. So those are interlinked. How? If you are already aware of, so there are some foreign key relationships and everything is built between Mara and Marcy and Mardi like that. So that's how they are integrated. Similarly, here also in MDG, we use a different structure of the data. How we can create that a different structure of the data, okay, for a custom master data, or how it has been already built for the existing master data. Can be a material or business partner or whatever it might be. So all those things we are going to discuss in this unit. Next one, service mapping tool. So once we create and maintain our master data in MDG area, to perform the day-to-day transactions, we need to send that data to the core ERP or S4HANA tables. So there is a concept behind that. We will see that, don't worry. So for that, we need to activate some transformations. We need to transform the data from MDG format to our core ERP or S4HANA tables format. So for that, we have a tool called service mapping tool to map the data between two different structures. That we will see here. So every chapter, whatever we are seeing, we analyze the standard, we create a custom, we enhance the standard. Those are the common things we are going to do. And data quality and check. So one of the primary factors of MDG, how you can improve the quality of the master data, how you can implement the business rules, how you can avoid the duplicates. Okay, all those things we are going to discuss in this chapter. And the user interface, like I just shown you, we have two kinds of interface, non-Fiori and Fiori. Okay, so how we are going to build a custom UI application? I had shown you our custom UI application also, and how the standard applications were built, and how that can be configured, and how you can control the standard applications access to the customers, business users, how you can enhance. So everything we are going to discuss here. In real time, MDG consultants don't enhance the Fiori application. That will be done by the Fiori consultants usually. Okay, but there are two kinds of apps in Fiori. Okay, NWBC integrated apps and Fiori native apps. So when Fiori native apps are very rarely being used by the clients. So far in my projects, if I remember correctly, we never used the native apps. We always use the NWBC integrated apps. Okay, there the user interface extension and everything can be done by MDG consultant. Okay, so we will see all those things in detail in the UI modeling chart and process modeling. So we have some workflows to be defined to ensure the governance process in MDG is in the right place. Okay, so we don't directly create and change the master data in SAP. It has to go under certain levels of approvals. Just like, let's say you are applying for a personal loan, where as soon as you fill the form, okay, you don't get your money credited into your account, right? So it has to undergo certain verifications. They have to check your CIBIL score and financial credits, everything, and your employment history and your credibility. Okay, everything will be verified, and your address and everything. Once everything is done, then they will check your eligibility, and according to your eligibility, they will be sending that approval to the next level, maybe the manager or whoever. So once they validate every data, then your amount will be credited into your account, loan amount. So this process, why this process is required? To ensure that they are giving the loan to the deserved customers and the genuine customers. Similarly, here in MDG also, like in backend in MM01 or MM02 transactions, you can create master data, change master data, and save it into your database. Okay, so here it's not like that. If you want to perform some master data operations, it has to undergo certain levels of approvals. I fill the data and I submit to the next level for the approval. Okay, then once the day approves the data, then it will be taken to the next level, and finally it will be updated into the database. So how you can build that approval process? So that entire approval process we will see in the process modeling chapter. Okay, there are various kinds of scenarios in the process modeling. We have all these things. So mostly we are going to cover all the scenarios. Now the data replication framework. So MDG can be integrated with SAP and non-SAP systems. Okay, like I shown you one example, there was some uh, uh, typical landscape where the business has been spread across multiple regions. So different regions might be using different systems, might be SAP or non-SAP. So to avoid the duplication data, inconsistent data and all, they need to have some central database. So here we have one central system, MDG, we will build that one, and we'll build MDG and integrate that with all the different regional systems, so that we'll be having one source of truth, one source of master data in our central system that will be shared across various systems. So once you maintain the central data in MDG system, how you can send that data back to the business systems to perform their transactions. So for that, we need to do certain configurations, integration relevant and replication relevant. So all those things we will see in the data replication framework unit. Now the data import framework. So when you have the source data from different system, how you can load that data into MDG to govern. So here we will see the various options to load that master data using DIF tool. This is one more thing. And extending standard features. So whatever we had seen, data model, SMT, UI, or process modeling, replication, whatever. So everything has a standard and can create custom. And third one, can enhance the standard. So most of you are already working on SAP. As you know, whatever SAP is delivered, we don't use it directly for our business operations. We always have some enhancements. Why enhancements required? To meet the client requirements, because SAP don't deliver a product specific to each customer. They deliver globally. They collect all the requirements from their global customers and they consolidate. They prepare some generic prototype. Accordingly, they implement the product and they deliver to the customers. Now, customers can enhance that product to meet their specific requirements. If you purchase a mobile, let's say I purchased iPhone. Apple by default has one wallpaper. Okay, that's it. But let's say I don't like that wallpaper. I want to keep my required wallpaper. I can still customize. I can go to the settings and change the wallpaper. That's it. Simple. I can change my lock screen. I can change the clock format, whatever. Always I am able to customize as per my requirement. Then only I'm happy. I'm not necessarily to go with the standard delivered wallpaper and the clock and display setting and everything. I can always go as I wish. Similarly, here also in MDG, whatever the standard features are there, I can always extend as per my requirement. I already purchased this from SAP, so I can customize that as per my need. So what kind of customizations we could do in MDG? All those things we will see. And the analytical reports and how we can use the Fiori and what are the Fiori roles and how you can control the apps using the catalogs, all we will see. And there are some miscellaneous topics. That doesn't mean that they are not important. They are also important equally. These are all the small topics. That's why I just categorize it all into one unit. Okay, we'll see all these things, the project relevant activities and the roles of each consultant, functional, technical, and everyone. So we'll have a design documents walkthrough. Everything here, mass processing, file download, file upload, and MOP. Everything we will see here. So any questions so far?
Sir, as a SAP MDG functional consultant or SAP MDG techno-functional consultant, we should know the complete flow of SD, MM, FICO. Am I correct, sir?
You are not necessarily should know the complete 3 modules flow. At least you should be having the knowledge or experience of in any of these. I'm coming to the prerequisites to learn MDG. There you will get more clarity.
Okay.
Okay. So these are our training highlights. Like you will be getting experience from one of the industry expert MDG trainers. It's me, and the training will be mostly real-time oriented. As you know, like though we are covering the real-time oriented, we can't always explain each and everything in the real-time format. Like 100, if you consider whole structure as 100%, I can be able to give you the real-time orientation at least 80% of the topics, because we are using the demo environments, training environments. So we can't always replicate the real-time scenarios, all the cases. But I will try to give at least 80% of the cases. And you will see in-depth explanation in each and every topic. Okay, that's why our course goes for around 70 hours. Okay, whereas the other places you will be seeing 40 hours or 45 hours mostly. And you will get all the assignments and everything. We'll be sharing you the study materials, some SAP standard materials and some prepared by my own. and you will be getting the interview questions, and we'll conduct mock interviews, and we'll assist you in preparing the resume. And we will be using the Google Classroom as our learning platform. Shortly, I will walk you through the Google Classroom, and you will have the server access. The server access will be there for you till the end of the course. Okay. First 2 weeks, it would be more or less the theory sessions, understanding MDG framework, and the core concepts, everything that is highly important. Then we will be starting the practical sessions for the rest of the course. So from that day onwards, you will be having the server access till end of the course. You don't need to pay anything extra for that. Okay, this is our learning model. These are the prerequisites to learn MDG. For technical consultant, you should know ABAP. Not complete ABAP is required. The core ABAP, like in core ABAP also, the data dictionary concepts and the core basic programming, the function modules, all those things are required. And object-oriented ABAP, in-depth object-oriented is not required. It is the basic understanding of the classes, objects, method calling, methods creation, all those things are required. And you should know the enhancements, the baddies especially, the IDOCs, server services. If you have, it's nice. And for functional consultant, you should have the domain knowledge or experience in any of these modules, or SD or FICO or PM. Because when you are climbing yourself as MDG functional consultant, you climb as MDG material functional consultant or MDG finance functional consultant, like that. So you need to know the core domain configuration, core domain setup and everything. And of course, for techno functional, that's a combination of these two. Okay, any questions in this area or so far from anyone?
Yeah, hi Vikant.
Hi.
Actually, I am a fresher and have just passed out and want to learn the MDG. So, is it possible if I can learn? Because I don't have any MMSD FICO project management experience.
Sorry, it's plant maintenance, not project management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are you aware of SAP platform and all? Have
No,
you
not
ever?
really. No.
Yeah, so I would suggest you can be able to learn and understand MDG only if you are familiar with the SAP concepts, the core concepts, how SAP works, and what are the things in SAP, how you can execute the transactions and everything. Because we don't cover the basics of SAP in our training. The attendee should have all this basic knowledge at least. Maybe you can call me. You are from institute or through me directly?
Sorry?
Are you directly through me or through some institute?
No, through some institute I
Okay,
get this.
you just ask your institute to arrange a call with me. So we will discuss in detail after this.
So no, after this demo, we will be in touch. Our team will touch. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions from anyone? So if you don't have any of these prerequisites, please make a call to me if you are through me directly, or ask your respective institution to arrange a call back with. Now, we use our learning platform as Google Classroom. Let me walk you through that one. So this is our Google Classroom. So whenever you are ready and you will be given access to this Google Classroom platform, for that you just need to have one Gmail account. So if you take any classroom, you will be given access to any of these things. So here you see, we have categorized various topics. For example, if you want to watch the recorded sessions, like we daily upload the videos. Let's say today our class is completed. By evening, you will see the class recording. You can be able to see the class recordings here. You cannot download the videos, but except the videos, you can download everything else. Okay, everything, every day, whatever the topics we discussed in the respective video. So you will be having access to this platform for 2 years. And study materials. If you click on this one, you will see all the study materials. As we keep moving further with our topics. So I'll be updating these study materials and the reference resumes. Okay, functional, technical, consultant resumes, everything will be there. And if there are any external materials, if you are new to FICO or MM or anything, I'll be sharing those reference materials for your reference. And if you are new to ABAP, you would like to get the basic knowledge of ABAP, which is required for MDG. You can go through these also. These are not my own, but some good references. And you will get the assignments. Okay. All the assignments, whoever are assigned and how many submitted the assignments, everything will be available here. So likewise, this is the Google Classroom platform, which you will be given access once you enroll for the training. And you will get the notifications in your inbox also. See, likewise, you will get the notifications. That's it. That's all for today, guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wrap up for today.
Venkat, I have a few questions with you.
Yeah.
First thing is that there is a 13 units we have the overall that MDG course. Each unit we will get the real time. What are the incident we will receive, and how in your previous experience, what are the customizations you have that? Can you able to tell that this course?
Yeah, everything I cannot be able to tell you, like all my experience, nothing. But from that, whatever the core is there, whatever the primary is there, important things that you should know, so that I will be sharing for sure.
Major things, mostly
Yeah,
interview. Yeah.
major things I will be sharing.
And second thing is access, MDG tool access. I mean, SAP also we have to download separately. Any other
No, it's a remote desktop. You don't
remote?
need to you don't need to download anything. You just I will be sharing you the IP address, so you just need to connect. That's it.
Oh, okay. That is only for the 3 months, right? After that, if still we need the practice, we have to go.
You need to take on your own. I'll be sharing you the contact, so you can take that from that point.
And this only one batch is available to this timing, because why I'm asking, my shift is in currently I'm working with one of the organization is a night shift. I mean, not complete night shift, mid shift, latem shift, and sometimes it's possible to extend. Any other batches are available with other times, or only one batch is going to start?
Only one batch.
Okay, I have some other questions. We'll connect offline. Then.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone?
Sir, I hope you are explaining some real-time scenarios, right, sir?
Yes.
Going forward. Yes.
Like I said, at least 80% of the real-time cases will be explained.
Hi, Venkat.
Okay. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, MDG certification is must for attending interviews or
Not required because currently in the market there are many MDG openings. So many projects are lacking with the resources. They are not getting resources from the market, good resources. So if you know and if you have good exposure on MDG, that's it. That is enough. You no need to have MDG certification also. It's not required. Maybe once you get into the organization, then they may ask you to do the certification.
okay.
But for getting the job, not required. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, guys. So again, I'm telling the regular classes starts from 23rd March, Monday to Friday, morning 7 to 8 a.m. So please connect with me or your institute to enroll for the course. Thank you. Happy weekend. Bye-bye.